Even though Apple's flagship series gets all the attention, the low-cost line is also very important, and soon Apple's iPhone SE is about to get a long overdue overhaul. Here's what Apple's got cooking. The current iPhone SE came to market in 2022, representing the third generation of the budget phone. It includes an A15 Bionic processor, a 4.7-inch touchscreen, a Lightning port, and a single rear 12-megapixel camera. Oh, and it looks like an iPhone 6. The fourth generation iPhone SE will be taking a major leap forward, moving out of its small, rounded shell to mimic the boxier look of the more modern iPhones. This was first leaked by AppleInsider's own Marko Živković. It will basically retain all of the dimensions and benefits of the updated iPhone 14 design. It will have glass on both the front and the back, and flat aluminum sides. You can expect to see both Qi 2 and MagSafe support here, bringing the standards across Apple's entire lineup of iPhones. Inside, Apple will likely upgrade the existing A15 processor and move to the newer A16 Bionic. Not only will this be a more powerful chip, but could upgrade connectivity, possibly with improved 5G and Wi-Fi 6E. Perhaps most exciting are Apple's display improvements. For the first time, and somewhat controversially, the iPhone SE will be sporting a much larger 6.1-inch display panel. Not only that, it's also making the move to OLED. Chinese manufacturer BOE will likely be the display manufacturer, according to ZDNet Korea, beating out two other finalists for the job. Apple has had a complicated relationship in the past with this manufacturer, even going as far as to pull orders because of quality concerns. Hopefully they've addressed those issues and are up for the task for the SE. It's really no surprise to see Apple moving to larger displays, but I know a lot of people were bummed when Apple started abandoning these smaller phones. Let me know down below in the comments where you stand, smaller display or larger display. This new screen means Apple will move away from another legacy technology, the home button. It's been a long time since Face ID was first introduced to the mainstream iPhone lineup, and it looks like it's finally going to come to the SE as well. And yes, there will be a notch at the top. Speaking of buttons, another rumor from Marko says that Apple will be adding the action button to the new iPhone SE. And I know that sounds incorrect when not even the iPhone 15 or iPhone 15 Plus have the action button yet, but I'm going to tell you why I think this may be true in just a minute. I'm sorry. I hate to rudely interrupt myself in the middle of a video because I have more cool things to talk about. But before we get to them, I have to thank our sponsor for this video, iVANKY, that recently launched its FusionDock Max 1. It's designed exclusively for Apple Silicon Mac users and is the only dock on the market with a dual Thunderbolt connection. It is outfitted with 20 different ports, including plenty of USB-C, legacy USB-A, a fast 2.5 gigabit Ethernet port, audio jacks, and HDMI. Here's one of my favorite things about it though, is I love how all of the USB ports are standardized in full speed. Sometimes you get ones that are like 10 gigabit or 5 gigabit and you have to pick and choose which ones you're connecting your peripherals to based on what you're doing. No, not with this hub. It's a similar story with the monitor situation. Personally, I use USB-C and HDMI for my monitors. Rarely ever DisplayPort. Yet, most other docks that I have reviewed include a DisplayPort connection on the back. iVANKY chose what makes sense for its actual users. Most Apple users are out there using USB-C and HDMI. I love that those are the options here. Plus, on the top of the line Mac, you can actually run 4 monitors at once with this thing. That's absolutely incredible and unheard of in this market. The whole dock is powered by 2 Thunderbolt chips on the inside, so you know this thing is not going to lag. And the dock floats in the air, which promotes good airflow to keep it cool while it's sitting on your desk. If you're like me and you want to upgrade your workflow, check out the iVANKY FusionDock Max 1. It's linked down below in the description as well as pinned in the comments. Now, let's go get back to the rest of the video. Which brings us to the camera, probably one of the most used features on your phone. Apple plans to keep this single shooter on the back, but quadruple the resolution from 12 megapixels to 48, bringing it in line with the main camera on the back of the iPhone 15. This will give users higher resolution shots, but also allow for more in-app trickery. For example, Apple could now deliver 2x optical quality zoom by cropping in on the sensor and using just the center portion. It used the same trick on the iPhone 15 and iPhone 15 Plus. One rumor from -1 leaker on Twitter, who doesn't have a lengthy Apple rumor track record, suggests the device will include AI camera features and cinematic mode at 1080p. Both of these are intriguing to me. Apple already does a ton of machine learning, AI tricks with its phone, so I'm not sure if he's referencing new iOS 18 features that will be coming or existing computational photography stuff. As far as existing iPhone cameras feature go, cinematic mode currently requires 2 cameras to work, so I don't think it's going to be ported over as is. However, one-time portrait mode also required 2 cameras to function, and Apple found a way to make that work with just 1. Maybe Apple can conjure some magic here as well, just at a slightly lower resolution. Missing though on the iPhone SE 4 will be night mode, so sorry folks. The last major change to the iPhone SE 4 will be the banishment of the Lightning port in favor of USB-C. iPhone SE 3 is one of only a few Apple products to still retain a Lightning connector. Alongside its Mac peripherals, AirPods Max, and for now, the 9th generation iPad, Apple has been systematically removing the connector from its product portfolio, so its days are numbered. All of that lands us on the questions of when Apple will release its new budget phone, and how much is it going to cost? Despite the waterfall of rumors, renders, and manufacturing leaks, the iPhone SE 4 isn't slated to be released until 2025. Remember when I said I would explain why I think it's likely that the action button will make its way to the iPhone SE? Here you go. Had the iPhone been set to release in 2024, I'd have said there is no way that this is happening. But the 2025 release date, alongside with the fact that Apple updates this line infrequently, makes sense to me that the action button will come along for the ride. And in fact, our own Marco, in one of his earlier reports, said that Apple plans to add the action button to the entire iPhone 16 lineup this fall. It's coming everywhere. So what about the price? A brand new, much larger OLED screen, plus updated internals means a big price hike, right? Actually, cost-wise, I don't expect it to shift all that much. Apple brought up the prices on the iPhone 15 Pro last year, so we could see something similar for the SE, but it won't be large. My guess, we'll see the iPhone SE 4 launch around $449, give or take a bit. While we wait for the iPhone SE 4 to launch, make sure you are subscribed to the channel and you have those notifications turned on. That way you don't miss the next major Apple rumor.